And we are looking at fall just a few weeks away. And with that, we may start to think about how to get ready with our careers and maybe even take advantage of the world of machine learning and cloud data. Work from home, but for employers anywhere in the world. Yeah, it's possible. We talk with Lemongrass CEO and co-founder Eamonn O'Neill and find out about some of these opportunities. Eamonn, what do you think? Are we ready?
I think what we're seeing in the last 5 to 10 years and accelerating right now is a pretty profound change in the capabilities of cloud and the capabilities that are now accessible to everybody. Not only are these things cheaper, faster, more convenient, but everybody at home can access them from anywhere. And that leads to a pretty never seen before capability to innovate. So we see frequently is small companies springing up with great ideas, but being able to scale very quickly on the back of that one idea, get global reach, be able to get that idea in front of lots of consumers, lots of enterprises. And we think that that's part of what's driving this really exciting cycle of technology. Everything from Netflix and Uber through to ChatGPT all comes from this nexus of capabilities that are being enabled by the internet and by hyperscale cloud.
Now, Eamonn, what I start thinking about is in terms of our city here, Vancouver, we take a look at opportunities in the city often when we talk about tech. But you could be based in Vancouver and work anywhere in the world now. Do you see that as being a direction? And how is technology changing to allow that?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely see that happening. Again, I think that the ease of access to these technology platforms means that people can work anywhere for anybody. Within our company, which we started 15 years ago, we started with the premise that we would have no offices, which was at the time a little radical, but we felt that if we trusted our people, they could work from home quite safely, and it proved to be the case. People started with Lemongrass and had the ability to get a proper work-life balance where they could, drop the kids off at school, they could go to the gym when they needed to, but still get all their work done because they had all the technology they needed in the house. Now, of course, with COVID, people all around the world saw it happening. And I think that while there is a bit of a sort of news stories about return to offices, I don't think it will ever return to what we saw in the past. And I think that over time, the work from home will absolutely stay as a permanent fixture for many industries and many niches within all industries.
For some of our bigger universities like the University of British Columbia, what would your recommendation be for a concentration in providing the knowledge and the skills for tomorrow's workers? Where should they be concentrating?
I think staying abreast with some of the bigger companies, technology companies, is always a good idea. Seeing where they're going next. The difficulty, of course, with technology is trying to predict the future. It's very, very difficult to know. I mean, we see with the AI explosion that is all over the media, it surprised a lot of people. Universities, as much as corporations, people didn't really expect to see that kind of level of pseudo-intelligence appear so quickly. But so it's not always a guarantee that somebody's going to be able to predict what specific technologies they can evolve with. But the more you stay abreast with what's going on in research labs and what's going on in this industry, the better aligned you can be to make sure that the technologies students pick up are going to be contemporary and useful as soon as they leave university.
Sage advice.
A couple of, and maybe a couple of topics that, of course, we see today. I mean, we're seeing a lot of interest, of course, in AI that drives skills around data. And data skills sound quite a strange topic, but there's some specific disciplines which, again, as I said earlier, once you learn about data once, it pretty much stays the same throughout your career. So I think skills in and around data management are going to be continually useful in the age of AI.
Eamonn, because you're an expert on data and data management and a pioneer really in your field, I'm going to pivot a little bit and bring in your expertise to a real situation happening right now in British Columbia, and that is dealing with a natural disaster in the making, a wildfire that's happening in West Kelowna and others around the province. And we often take a look at these wildfires and wonder about what could be lost in terms of buildings, but there's also data involved in that too. What sort of opportunities do you see for companies like yourself in providing assistance to those hit by wildfires and other natural disasters?
Well, I guess there's a whole range of items that technology helps with in these kind of situations. Obviously, the immediate things like for people who have good data that gets lost, being able to retrieve it or keep it safe. We see, people are very familiar today with backup technologies, and pretty much every enterprise will have that. Every home should have that, where you can keep your data stored online, and that way it will always be safe in that kind of scenario. But then when you think more practically about how data helps first responders identify what's going on, the whole evolution of mobile phones and the ubiquity of those devices means that everybody can contribute to notifications on where these fires are, where they spread, and that gives people a much better live picture of what's going on than we've ever seen before. And then maybe one level further back is prediction, and can these things be predicted? Now, of course, this is in a much bigger scale than either home devices or mobile devices, but we do see technologies such as ML, machine learning, and backed up with AI technologies that scientists are getting better at predicting, obviously, weather, which has a huge factor on whether these fires are going to start and where they might be. So I think if you kind of summarize, prediction, response, and basic first level safety, technology is there to help solve a lot of problems that would have been really difficult previously.
Do you see a whole new area of opportunity for people going into predicting using machine learning for dealing with natural disasters, as we're hearing so much more about them coming up?
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, it would be nice if we didn't have to worry about these things. But with the very large climate models that scientists have been building over the years, they all rely on new technologies. They rely on massive scale. All of these things are available now, and they require people to model. They require people to understand and to improve predictions. So there's no doubt that those skills are very specialist. They're very highly sought. They're very interesting work that can be applied not just to climate, but drug research. There's been plenty of new drugs generated or at least proposed on the back of computer modeling. So, yeah, the whole area is not just interesting work for people, it's also going to continue to increase at a very rapid clip.
Just before he was hanged, a prospector accused of murder sets a curse on anyone looking for his hidden gold. I'm Crew Williams, the host of Dead Man's Curse. Join me as we journey into this 150-year-old mystery to sort fact from fiction and maybe find a little gold along the way. Join our quest. Search for and follow Dead Man's Curse, Slumuk's Gold, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts.